Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's step one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to. How many people we have connected?
Hello, Tanya. This is Anil. We've got 104 people in the room now, 107 as I speak.
Well, we said that Dipashi would do the housekeeping rules first, right? Remember?
Yeah, absolutely. So housekeeping rules is something that we can announce. I can do that.
All right, but well, it's only 1 minute past. But we have how many students already? More than 70, no?
Oh yeah, we've got 100 students in the room now.
Okay, shall we start?
We should start. Yeah,
Right.
we should start. I'll start with the housekeeping rules and then I'll invite you.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone, and very warm welcome to this pre-departure session that we are doing here today on behalf of the delegation of the European Union to India. This is an event that is being held to celebrate the success of Indian students who have won the Erasmus scholarship and are leaving for Europe in a few weeks from now. My colleague, Ms. Tanya Fredericks, is going to conduct this event today in conjunction with my colleague, Mr. Sanjeev Roy. The detailed program has been shared with you already. My job right now is to share with you some housekeeping rules, and the housekeeping rules are pretty simple. They are that only the speakers, please keep your camera and your microphone on when you are taking part in a panel or when you're speaking directly. Rest of the people, please keep your microphone off, even your camera off if possible. Towards the end, we are going to have a group photograph, so to say. So either Sanjeev or Tanya will make an announcement. At that point of time, we will request everybody to please switch on your camera so that we can take a group photograph, because this is definitely going to be a memorable moment for all of us, especially for the students who have been selected and who are going to be leaving for Europe shortly. So at that point of time, please switch on your camera. Rest of the time, please keep your camera and your microphone off. And with that introduction, may I now invite Tanya to please take over the proceedings from this point onwards. Tanya, over to you.
Thank you very much, Anil, and thank you for having supported us in the organization of the event. And on my turn, a very warm welcome to all of you to this Erasmus pre-departure event session platform. We see throughout the day how we eventually call it. But in the first place, I would like to thank all the students that have responded so enthusiastically and numerously to this invitation. It shows their motivation and their dedication to go and study to Europe. The same goes for the high number of representatives that we will have of your hosting countries, the member states from the different embassies in Delhi and also consulates in Mumbai. We have a special guest today, which I would also like to thank already now. That's Dr. Abid Jerry, who is the Chief Innovation Officer at the freshly renamed Indian Ministry of Education. This shows that this activity takes part as part of the EU-India strategic partnership. And thank you to all the colleagues for contributing and be with us. Today is a special day. I'm very happy that we can make it all together. It's special, let's put it this way, because we meet virtually, because we call it a pre-departure event. And I know that you students, you don't know at which stage of that pre-departure you are. Let me share from the outset that we are very much aware of that there is this COVID-19 pandemic which impacts on our lives, on our mobility, on your students. But trust, we are all in the same boat, and throughout this session, we hope that you will see that where we can, we will help and make sure that your study journey through Europe can be pursued as much as planned. But let me also say that's a very special day today because we should look at the celebration part, at the positive part. The celebration is that India this year obtained the largest number of Erasmus Mundus master degrees out of many applicants, largest from all the third countries. So I would say that merits a big applause to start with for India. It means India has found its way and is interested to study. You're right to be interested to do that. It also means, and that goes to each student individually, a big congratulations to you because you've managed to crack that very competitive scholarship. And you know how competitive that was. So also for that, you should be proud, you should go for it. And despite all the circumstances that trouble our mind today, I would really urge you to say this is a time of your life to concentrate on studies and take advantage of studying in a different culture, in a different region. But in a region, India, Europe, that shares so much common values and above all, value very much cultural diversity. But you will be in Europe one day and you will see it yourself. I stop here. My message is take it as a celebration collectively and individually, and take advantage of the sessions that we're going to have throughout this afternoon to ask your questions. We are there for you and with you to the extent that we can help. We will certainly do that. On this note, I would like to invite now the ambassador of the European Union to India, Ugo Astutu, to welcome us all and open the session. Thank you very much.
Dear students, it's a great pleasure for me to welcome you to this pre-departure event to congratulate the more than 130 Indian students who obtained this year an Erasmus Mundus scholarship. I would have liked to organize a proper send-off at the European Union residence and meet you in person, but COVID-19 unfortunately prevents us from doing so and coming together. The pandemic impacts also academic programs, and this is why not all of you might be leaving already at the end of August. However, rest assured that we will do our utmost to seek the flexibility needed for you to do your master studies as planned. This year, India obtained the largest number of scholarships with 134 selected scholars. India is the top represented worldwide. We need to mark this moment, and we wish to prepare you as best as we can for your experience of studying in Europe. An Erasmus master's degree fosters excellence, innovation, internationalization, and it will allow you to develop new skills and competencies. But being an Erasmus scholar is more than studying. It means getting to know Europe in its very diverse cultures and languages. You will meet fellow students from all over the world and study in a truly globalized environment. I hope that you will enjoy this and that you will come back to India as goodwill ambassadors for EU-India cooperation and partnership. I trust that the workshop today will be useful and will provide answers to your queries on all aspects prior to your departure, and will offer already some networking opportunities for you all. Finally, let me thank all member states representatives who joined and Erasmus alumni who have come to share their experience of studying in Europe. I wish you all the best and a great time in Europe.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. I think you summarize it all well. Great opportunity, times ahead, and we are there to help and share your queries and concerns. And we could not have anybody better than Adrian Veal, who is the policy officer of the Erasmus Plus program in headquarters in Brussels, who is daily looking at and helping us out in the delegations, first of all, to promote it. So if you have known about the program, it is thanks to the promotion material that Adrian prepared. It is also him who informed us about the results. And now he is also faced with all these questions that he gets from all the consortia on how to now ensure that despite COVID-19, this Erasmus Mundus master degree can continue as it should. So thank you very much, Adrian, that you could share a moment with us. And I ask the students to listen attentively, because he is really the right person on the right place.
Well, hello to all the 2020 Erasmus Mundus scholarship winners from India. My name is Adrian Veal. I work in the European Commission in Brussels for the international unit of the division that works on education and that manages the Erasmus Plus program. So we're the team that manages the Erasmus Mundus program overall. So I'm very pleased to be able to talk to you on this day, your pre-departure event. Once again, Indian students overall have done very well in the selection this year. They came a very, very close second to Brazil in the list of countries gaining scholarships. So we have, on the current count, 131 Indian nationals who have won an Erasmus Mundus scholarship to start their studies in 2020. And most of you will be starting your programs very soon across Europe, from Finland in the north to Italy in the south, from Ireland to Poland. And you have all done really well, actually. Congratulations to the fact that you've got to this stage. There were almost 30,000 applications for scholarships worldwide. So to have reached this stage where you've won a scholarship shows that you are really the creme de la creme of the applicants. So congratulations. You are very lucky. I don't mean that you're lucky to have won the smiled on you. You thoroughly deserve your scholarship, but I mean you're lucky because you're beginning a really great study experience. I mean, Erasmus Mundus joint master's degrees are very special. They're special in lots of ways, but perhaps I'll just dwell on two. Firstly, you know that an Erasmus Mundus joint master degree is all about quality. They're very high quality. They've been through a very tough selection process themselves. Every year, the EU makes a call for proposals to select new Erasmus Plus projects, including the Mundus programs. We've just, in fact, completed a selection of another 40 programs this July. And these programs, the proposals, are assessed by academic experts, by university professors, administrators, who give it a really thorough and tough assessment, looking at the relevance of the program, the quality of the content, the quality of the way it's organized, and how solid it is to continue into the future. So only the really strong survive in this process. So you can be sure that the program you have chosen, it really is a top-notch program. They are also special because of the Erasmus Mundus model, and this is something that we're very proud of. The model is a joint and integrated model of master's programs. So within your program, it's a consortium that reaches across national borders. You get an experience of the way different countries approach teaching, research, the culture of the country as it affects the teaching they deliver. Also, most consortia tend to reach across traditional border lines between faculties. So you get a really interdisciplinary mix of knowledge to prepare you better, for you to develop a range of skills, to be a practitioner, to be a researcher, to be an administrator in your chosen field. And you can see this in the titles of some of the programs. They're not classic academic modules, but they refer more to the skills sets that they are trying to develop among the graduates. So we have food innovation and product design, electric vehicle propulsion and control. Those are two of the programs that you as Indian students will be starting very soon. The other thing that we perhaps didn't appreciate at the beginning, but we have become very aware of the special nature of the international mix of students that you will be with. You'll spend 2 years with a group of students from all over the world, and you're going to learn a lot from your fellow students. Their different views, their different approaches to the subject that you're all studying together. And in fact, your professors are also going to learn a lot from you and from your fellow students from other parts of the world. There is something I have to talk to you about today as well. And I can't talk to you today without talking about COVID-19 and its impact on universities. The pandemic has made 2020 a very difficult year. I mean, let's be frank. For the last 4 months now, the EU and the Erasmus Plus program has been working very hard with national authorities here in Europe, with universities, on the initial response to the pandemic. So the first concern was health and safety of everyone. What do we do with stranded students? What do we do with closed universities? What about travel restrictions if airlines are not operating? So our first concern was really the health and safety of everyone involved. But our second concern is to try to make sure that we minimize the impact of this on the programs, and also we try and make sure that nobody misses out on their Erasmus Plus experience. So we've allowed some flexibility, in fact. So it allows projects to continue operating in these different circumstances. And that means that some programs have built in a sort of delay. Some programs are starting later than they originally planned. Others may start with online lessons and then switch to face-to-face teaching when this becomes more feasible. These are all elements that require a bit more flexibility than was originally possible under the program. Now, I'm afraid that this pandemic is not over yet, now at the end of July. And so this flexibility, these new arrangements will continue to apply at the start of the programs in September, the start of our academic year. Now, I know that a lot of the programs have worked very closely with their national authorities to make sure that they are as ready as they possibly can be to start. And they want and they are eager to offer the program in as close to normal as is possible in this new normal. But you can imagine and you'll understand that things will be different, and each program will have a slightly different approach depending on its technological setup, depending on the countries involved. So we can't really give you a one-size-fits-all answer for what is it going to be like in this September when you start your course. Your program coordinator will be the best point of contact for you advise you what to do to prepare for travel, to prepare to start your program. And they really have, as I said, they have been doing their utmost to be ready to start the program, although some will be starting with some slight delay. I'd also mention the impact this will have on the cohorts of students. I mean, like I said, a large part of the Erasmus Mundus experience comes from you forming part of a group with other students you'll meet. Now, for those of you who might not be traveling straight away, you might be a little bit late, you might miss the opportunity to link up from the start with these other students so you can start really creating that feeling of being in a cohort. So what I would suggest is that you sign up to the Erasmus Mundus Student and Alumni Association. Now, your course coordinator may advise you about this. Emma, the association, works very closely with the course coordinators, but you can also sign up on the website of Emma, so that's em-a.eu, and there you will see become a member of Emma, and you will see how you can register, and Emma will be ready to accept you as a member. And then you can see, even if you're not able to travel first thing, at least you can see how you can link up with your course, but also with the other students studying it on your course or on another course. So once again, congratulations, you're at the beginning of a big adventure. Circumstances have it that the start of this adventure will be a little different from usual. We're hoping we can minimize that difference. We can minimize the discomfort that this will create. So it just remains for me to say once again, congratulations, and enjoy the adventure that is about to start for you. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your event today.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Tanya, we can hear you, and Dr. Abhay Jere has also.
Yeah, right. So yeah, but first of all, I think that you share with me that this session is special. It is special because Dr. Abhay Jere joined, but it is also, so thank you very much, sir. But it is also special because we are all the time in this duality of congratulations, celebrations, but then the COVID-19 and the impact, but really take away be proud, be happy, and take advantage of technology, of all the modes of remote studying that we have, and to continue to look positively at this scholarship. And I see Dr. Abhay Jere from, as I said, a freshly created Indian Ministry of Education. Welcome very much, sir, and thank you so much to honor our platform today, who certainly, I see you nodding, share that all these students that are hooked on today should be proud and go for further studies. And we, of course, we are extra happy that they have chosen Europe as a destination. Thank you very much. The floor is yours. I don't have sound.
Namaskar. First, I would really like to thank Tanya ji for inviting me to this session. It's a very heartening session to join because some of our youngsters are actually going for scholarships. Erasmus Mundus, they are going for, and next 2 years, they will be actually exploring life within Europe, which is something really very phenomenal to live. They will not only just study there, but they will also experience a complete different way of life, which could be a huge learning experience for all the youngsters. So I would really like to congratulate all 134 scholarship holders. And I believe that when they will come back to India, they will be better technologists, better innovators. Some of them will actually get into entrepreneurships, will do startups, and eventually end up being job creators rather than job seekers. As you all are aware that India is aiming towards $5 trillion economy. And our Prime Minister always talks about $5 trillion economy. Due to this unfortunate COVID crisis, pandemic, there will be certainly there will be some contraction in the short run, but our long-term goal is still $5 trillion economy. And if we have to emerge as $5 trillion economy, then we have to emerge as global innovation hub. And Europe is very well actually suited to train you in those aspects. In India, we always complain about our education system, which is more of rote learning, swallow and vomit kind of a system. But now you have got opportunity to go out, venture into world. But what I would like you to do is to actually look at this opportunity from 2 or 3 different angles. One, you have to grow as a human being in a much better way. You have to be a global citizen, learn from different cultures, be accommodative towards others, be accommodative towards diversity, which is there. This is very, very important. And we should actually, as our philosophy, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which is there, world is one family, you know. So we have to really demonstrate that world is our family through our behavior, through our gestures, through our manners. And I am pretty sure that all 134 people or students, youngsters which have got selected will follow that dharma which we all believe in. This is the first part. The second part is that this is a very, very unique opportunity for you. And many of you will be going to different countries in Europe, right? So what you should take this opportunity to network as much as possible, not only with Erasmus fellows, but beyond Erasmus fellows. Go to different labs, go to adjacent, what we can say, professors, adjacent universities, nearby universities. Try to network as much as possible. This is the time of your age, or this is the age or the phase in your life where you should network as much as possible and eventually build on that network. And I will tell you, people is the biggest wealth we can have. If we have right kind of people associated with us, if we have good people associated with us, and when good people come together, good things happen. This is a very, very simple philosophy. So I would request you all to actually go ahead, network as much as possible, just not within your Erasmus community, but beyond Erasmus community. The third thing, which is extremely important, try to evolve as problem solvers, you know. So many times what happens is that we when we get into, I was also in US, I was working for National Institute of Health as scientist after my PhD. Then I came back. But sometimes when we get into this rigmarole of research and high-end cutting technology, we sometimes lose the focus of what we are actually trying to solve or what we are actually trying to do. And sometimes, even in US or in Europe, I have seen people working on problems or trying to solve problems which never really existed, you know? And sometimes they end up doing things which are really not required. So as Indians, when you are picking up projects, you should always ask a question that whether this project which I will be doing and the competencies which I will develop or the skills which I will develop because of this project, whether they are useful or the institute in which you are working, but humanity as a whole or the country when you will come back. So that is extremely critical, because once you will come back, you would like to use those skills, you will like to use that training, you will like to use that knowledge to solve the problems of this country which really need to be solved, you know. So these few things are extremely critical. Don't just get carried away by some nonsense project because somebody is offering you that project. Ask yourself some real tough questions, because sometimes right questions and right time will really help you channelize your career in a far better fashion as compared to doing some project just for degree or for paper. Yes, you can certainly get some paper on your CV, but at the end of the day, whether that paper or that patent, whether it is really going to be useful for the humanity at large, that is very important thing which you really need to ask. So, as I said, as Ministry of Education, or formerly which was known as Ministry of Human Resource Development, we are very happy that from India, we have more than 134 students which are going. I think India is the largest country where we are sending largest number of students to Europe. We really have good brains. We have people like Tania working here, which are coordinating. I'm very sure they will make your life extremely good there, or they will help you in every possible way. But please don't forget, you have motherland back, and you have to come back, and you have to help this motherland when you become really capable. That is one thing which we really need to learn from Jews, how they went back to Israel, build the country actually from scratch, you know. So with that spirit, I believe that you will never forget, and you will come back as better technocrats, as better scientists, as better innovators, and will actually help this country grow forward and help us in this $5 trillion economy. So I really thank Tania ji for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to interact with the youngsters. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Namaskar.
The thank you is us that have to thank you, because all what you said is so valuable for the students, for society, for life, for Europe and India. So, Omar, thank you so much. And I think, I think you have studied a bit, because, I mean, for this event, because what you said as a message to the students is the essence of an Erasmus program. It's the human character. It is a humanist who already believed in mobility, not one way, among the European countries. And that is what you have passed on to the students. And how that is also the philosophy of the whole relationship, Europe and India, that my dear colleague, head of section of for political relations with India, will also be able to illustrate you through the recent European Indian summit that we had, where again these human values between Europe and India are so important in pursuing our common objective, addressing all the challenges that we have. And definitely your students will come back, we will learn from them, and we also hope that Europeans will come more to India, because we do see this, the importance of the two-way mobility. So thank you so much, and please students, keep in mind all along your journey while you are in Europe what Dr. Abhijiri said. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm sure that on this note, Frederica can really go right into our EU-India partnership and share with us what is the other aspects of it. Frederica, thank you very much.
So Tanya ji, if it is okay if I drop out?
Yes, we are connected again, and we keep you posted. Very good. Thank you. Understood. All the best. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me? I hope it's working. Yes, I had some difficulties during some of the presentations. So let me also start by congratulating all the students on their successful application, and wish them well in the preparations of their hopefully not too far away departure. Actually, this is one of my favorite events in the year, and I really wanted to interact with you, although I'm currently in my move, my removal, because I'm leaving India, unfortunately, but I really wanted to connect to you, because I believe that while you will be probably focused a lot on the practical aspects of your studies in Europe and try to get your act together to be organized and to understand also how to navigate the COVID situation, which is ever changing, as we know, I still find it helpful and important to situate your time in Europe in the context of the EU-India strategic partnership. So now, since I know that you have successfully applied, you have already studied everything, because I'm sure you needed some background information to make a good application. I don't want to make this too long, and we have short slots anyway, but allow me to recap a few of the essential sort of milestones of the EU-India strategic partnership. So you will know that EU and India have formal diplomatic relations already since nearly 60 years. You also probably are aware that since the year 2000, the leaders, meaning your Prime Minister and our Commission President and President of the Council these days, are meeting on a regular basis. Actually, your Prime Minister Vajpayee had envisaged already in the year 2000 that given the relevance to each other and the like-mindedness and also the world situation and everything, EU-India should actually be in a strategic partnership. And in 2004, this strategic partnership was formally initiated and launched. So since then, we are having regular meetings at leaders level and an ever-growing strong cooperation in a number of key areas, which I will illuminate a little bit later. 2004 formal launching, 2020 celebration of the 15th summit, on 15th July, actually. It was a nice coincidence to have that on that date. As mentioned, and given COVID times, we had a virtual summit between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and our President of the Council, Charles Michel, and Ursula von der Leyen, the President of the European Commission. And as in virtual summits and meetings, they had an hour 15, hour 20, hour and a half to exchange. They had actually an excellent atmosphere and achieved good outcomes. They discussed intensely, despite, of course, the challenge of being in a virtual format, which we thought in the beginning wasn't so happy, but it was important to both sides to hold the summit this year and also to hold it against the current international situation, both when it comes to COVID, but also when it comes to some of the regional and strategic challenges that we're currently facing. So both sides in unison actually stress the huge potential of the partnership in so many areas, highlighting in particular security, strengthening multilateralism, which is super important at the moment also in order to have a collective fight against the pandemic, multilateralism, climate change, trade and investment, including post-COVID recovery, connectivity, digitalization, and sustainable modernization. So I don't tell you any secret if I'm informing you that actually the priorities which were mentioned are very much chiming with the actual fresh priorities formulated by the new European Commission or the new European leadership, which started their office last year and which are also very much investing into staying a global partner, defending multilateralism, working on the Green Deal, that's how we call it, the attempt to revamp our economy to be green and at some point climate neutral, and fighting digital and looking at a number of other challenges, and also being very based on fostering research and innovation. So that actually brings me to the main pillars of the relationship. And I always like to show this visualization because it nicely breaks it down into where we see the key areas of cooperation. So we work a lot on shared security challenges. We try to maintain peace and security. That means we coordinate on regional situations. And as already mentioned, we try to defend international law and international institutions, because we know that multilateral cooperation fosters better, more fair, but also more sustainable outcomes. We work on trade and investment. You will know that if you this and goods trade together, actually the EU together is the largest trading partner of India. And what we always like to stress is that this is a balanced relationship. So you don't run a big trade deficit with the EU. If you count that together, and this is very important in today's world. And this also informs the decision which was taken on 15th of July of being much closer in communication and coordination, consultation on international trade issues. So we also work a lot to achieve sustainable modernization or looking at environmental challenges. We know that you have a major modernization program running here in India, and in so many areas now we are sharing experiences and best practices. We're also trying to build very integrated solutions, meaning we're trying to be connected to the international agenda, work on ambitious goals, using the power of law and policy, integrate business solutions, so fostering entrepreneurialism, and always have the research and innovation component. And in addition, and I think this is a principle which I would like to add to what was already shared by previous speakers, we try to make sure that policy solutions which are forged very much consult with all possible stakeholders. So we look at policy making, which is facts and research based, as a very important principle of our work. And we look at broad stakeholder consultation, because we know that this helps us to understand a problem better, because we will look at all the different facets of it. And that means we can create better solutions. And also there will be more ownership for the policies, which will later be formulated and adopted. And I think this is very important, in addition to what was already mentioned, our shared principle of cultural diversity, solidarity, the world is one family, conceive your own work as making a contribution internationally. We have noted, for instance, how important it is for India to continue to provide vaccines and medicines for the world. And this is very much in sync with initiatives that the Commission has undertaken to raise more money for the international research on creating a COVID vaccine. So we're very much in sync in this aspect. So if I continue on this very important area of cooperation of sustainable modernization, we by now have partnerships on water, climate change and clean energy, sustainable urbanization, and most recently we concluded a very important partnership on resource efficiency and circular economy, one of the important summit outcomes, in addition to an agreement on Euratom, so a collaboration on civilian nuclear energy, and the renewal of the Science and Trade Cooperation Agreement, as well as the adoption of a roadmap that will guide our cooperation until 2025, with as many as 118 concrete action points in all these key areas of collaboration. So we have a lot of work ahead, but let me finish this presentation of the substantive priorities by also mentioning, of course, our close commitment, collaboration, and our joint commitment to reaching the sustainable development goals, on which we exchange a lot, and we still have quite a good portfolio of cooperation with India, and we are also mobilizing a lot of funds by blended financing mechanisms, and we have brought the European Investment Bank to India to facilitate projects. We stand now in terms of the project volume at over 3 billion euro of project, many of this invested in creating sustainable urban mobility, meaning metros and end-to-end mobility. And then, of course, the area of work that Sanya represents here, joint research and innovation, which I'm leaving to the experts to elaborate on. So let me close by coming back to the cross-cutting principles, shared values and principles, partnership, and we've already spoken about solidarity, making a contribution to the world, so not sort of just running it for yourself, facts and research-based stakeholder consultation, and then, of course, this very important aspect of people-to-people context. Building bridges between countries is not just a work for the politicians and a matter of exchanging papers and so on, but it is important that we do this as human beings and as students, as scholars, and as officials alike. So with that, I can connect it nicely to what our ambassador said. You will hopefully all become ambassadors of the European Union after your certainly positive experience in Europe, in the various European member states that will welcome you. And I hope that to the principles that were already mentioned, you will also understand the working principle that we cite a lot, which is in French, l'union fait la force, so we are stronger together. And I think this is also an appropriate closing remark. So I wish you a very, very good time, a very nice afternoon today. And I hope that soon actual meetings will be possible again, because every year this was one of my favorite receptions. It has a particular buzz, and it also is very much connected to sharing the passion and the enthusiasm on all of what we've already spoken about, and of Europe as an idea, unity and solidarity and so on. So let me thank everybody in the room, the organizers, of course the students for their attention, but let me also recognize the professors, the senior researchers, your mentors and supervisors who have guided you and who have actually flying the flag for European studies also in the various universities, and who are a very good network and very good partners to us as well. So very good afternoon, and of course have a nice time once you manage to leave, or have a good time virtually if you start connecting with your future universities. Thank you Anil and Tanya as well, and have a nice afternoon.
Thank you so much.
You need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I've just done it, and I thank Federica to have shared all this insight from what we daily do, from what we aim at between Europe and India at European level. It's quite an agenda, as she said, that many points. But what we also hope with this intervention is that when you study, you should not study in a political vacuum. And as Dr. Jerry said, you should become global citizens, human, and part of that is also understanding that the gist of the EU-India partnership, in which you are an important part and multiplier. On this note, I think it's more than time to give the floor to the students themselves. Not yet those that will go, but those that have already gone, in other words, the alumni. And that session will be shared by the alumni among all the alumni. That is Sanji Roy, who is also our senior expert, and together with Anil put up this this event as part of our public diplomacy project. It's been a while, Sanjeev, isn't it, that you were an Erasmus Mundi student? We can say, but we say it because it's for you, it's as if it was yesterday. Every time we meet, you have so vivid memories of it, and it has really marked also your path and the person you are. And I'm sure that you could recognize a lot of what Dr. Abhi said as very valuable advice. But now you can of course share that, but we would like you to more moderate the session so that the students that have been can bring over that enthusiasm as well, and at the same time finally also come to what is the essence of this session this afternoon, and that is go ahead for your questions and on all the practical aspects before you really jump to Europe. So Sanjeev, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tanya. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Erasmus pre-departure event. We have been in contact with I have been in contact with most of you, and thank you for this overwhelming response. You people have made us proud because as a public diplomacy project with the European Union, we have been trying to build this Erasmus map of India. Frederique has been a good friend in this, we have traveled around the country. And when I was looking at the results, I was very happy to see we have students from 22 states and 2 union territories of India. And the states which are missing are from the Northeast, where Frederique and I have been planning to go for a long time, but we could not make it. And you could see the result. So now Erasmus has covered, I could say, the rest all over the country. And it's time, as Dr. Jere was saying, Frederique has said, Tanya has said, that you students now, from today onwards, should be our brand ambassador. So what is the role of a brand ambassador? It's not that you have got your scholarship, and of course you're planning to go to Europe. Now your duty is, you go back to your university, tell your juniors, tell your professors about the Erasmus program. It's through you that the outreach is going to happen. We have been working on it, and India has been the beneficiary of Erasmus. We have always been in top 5. But to come to #1 position, I think that's really an honor for all of us to celebrate. And the most difficult part now is to remain #1. So we can only remain #1 in all of you students who are Erasmus scholars now. You start promoting Erasmus in your community back in India. So as Dr. Jere very rightly said, go and explore Europe, go and network in Europe, but come back to this country. This country needs you like never before. It's a young India. It's a young India we are talking about, not about me, who's an Erasmus scholar, went in 2006, 2008 with gray hairs. You know, we need young people to come. So I have got a bunch of scholars here who are presently in Europe, because I thought, because we are running out of time, I would not go in details. But just as a student, I'll tell you, all of you going from India, you need to first unlearn. You have been a good student, that's why you have been selected, remember that. But when you're going to study in Europe, first you need to unlearn, start learning the European way, and become a lifelong learner. You know, Europe is all about quality, high research, innovation, get into publishing, get into writing, get into your research. That's the place where you all have to be. Because if you look at the higher education map of India, the gap which is missing is on research and innovation. We are not able to publish quality papers, research papers. So this is an opportunity for all of you. Go and explore. It's a lovely continent. If you love traveling, it's a travel's expertise. You know, you'll love the place. You love biking, you can go and bike your way. I would like to conclude by saying Europe is going to change you for life be the change agent. And I wish you all the very best. So now what I'll do is invite Tarun Kumar Agrawal. He has been an Erasmus scholar, and right now he's doing a postdoc research at KTH Royal Institute of Technology. He's going to share his experience of studying in Europe and how did it benefit him. And what we will do is, we have got 5 scholars. So now, after the end of all the 5, we will take questions and answer. You can send your questions in Q&A, and I will be moderating the session. Over to you, Tarun.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to this event. I got this opportunity to present and share my experience with you, which I got during my Erasmus program. I earlier made a slide, but I think it will be fine if I share my experience like this. Currently, I'm working as a postdoc researcher at, as Sanjeev mentioned, at KTH, Royal Institute of Technology, in the field of production logistics. And it was because of my Erasmus program, I was part of it. I got this opportunity. And I remember during my interview, my selection panelists were quite impressed when they got to know about that I have been to many different countries, all in Europe and in Asia during my PhD, and how I have learned different culture, which helped me in my research. So to give me an overview of me, I am native from Varanasi, India. I did my bachelor's in India, master's in France, and my PhD under Erasmus Mundus joint doctorate program, which was SMD Tex, Sustainable Management and Design for Textiles. The EMJD program now is under Marie Curie Fellowship. So we have most of the master's program, which is funded by the Commission through Erasmus+, and there are to Marie Curie. So this is one of the other aspects we can look after your master's, which will actually one of the motivation that you can also, if you are highly motivated in research area, you can look, that could be the next scholarship opportunity for you. I did my PhD in 3 universities, which was University of Lille, I was in France, and then University of Borås in Sweden. And my program had a special link with China. So I was also in Suzhou University, China, for my final year of project. Sharing benefits, how the Erasmus Mundus Fellowship actually helped me. So there are many benefits to enlist them. First of all, you get to learn, as most of the panelists today have discussed, Adrian and Dr. Ebe, they all shared that when you go abroad and when you study in Europe, especially, Europe has diverse culture. Each country has their own language. And you will, as an Erasmus student, you will get to enhance your language skills. So it will be always good to learn the local language and interact with people. And trust me, it will be a very great experience. Second, intercultural skills. You will meet people from all over the world. You will meet your fellow classmates will be from all over the world. And when you will network, you will get to know about different culture, how to interact with different people and how to communicate efficiently. So that's one of the skills which you will acquire and which I have learned during my phase in Erasmus. Also, you will be able to experience different teaching and work culture because because in Erasmus you will be moving in different countries. Although being in Europe, but there is also an influence from the country educational system that there are small differences, which is unique, and you will get to know about how the work culture and how the culture of that particular country is influencing the teaching method and the methodology and how the different culture teaching different in these countries. Also, you will learn and what I have experienced about new technologies and research area, especially with the Erasmus degrees. They are quite well kind of organized and well they are framed in a way, they are very kind of latest, and every year there are additional of new programs are added, which gives you a very kind of latest skills which are needed in terms of technology and skills related with research. Also, you will also get to know about networking skills. Especially, I would encourage you all, as Adrian also mentioned, that participate and be an active member of EMA. you will, through Emma, you will get to know about different scholars and fellow scholars, not just from your program, but also from the different programs running all over the Europe, and also the alumni who has already benefited from this program. Also, the best thing which you will experience, as everyone was mentioning, travel. If you love traveling, and because of the Schengen area, you can go around during your Erasmus, during your vacation, you can go around. Currently, I know that situation is not so favorable, but otherwise for traveling and to know different, explore different part of Europe is a memorable experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tarun. Thank you very much. And Tarun, wait till the end. We'll have question and answer towards the end. Now, can I have Astha Ahuja? Yes.
Hi.
Welcome, Astha. To the students, to the new scholars, let me tell you, Astha last year was sitting in the students group as you all are today sitting in a virtual group. And we thought that her, so imagine it's a matter of 1 year, and she comes as our brand ambassador, as our Erasmus speaker. And why we thought to get her was because for students who will be traveling to Europe, these now next four Erasmus scholars are presently in Europe. So Astha is doing her 3rd semester in Estonia, and she is going to tell you about education and learning in Europe. Over to you, Astha.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Hi, everybody. It's unfortunate that we have to do it online, and it would have been lovely to do it the way we did it. Anyhow, I'm actually doing my master's in adult education, and so I just arrived in Estonia 3 days ago. My semester hasn't yet started. I'm still in my summer break, and I'm currently interning online with UNESCO in Germany, which was also a part of my program. So, you know, we could apply, and 3 or 4 of us got the internship at the UNESCO Institute of Learning in Hamburg. Unfortunately, none of us could travel to Hamburg as originally planned, and we're all doing that online. But it's still been a good experience so far, because given that it didn't completely get canned despite COVID. So I think I can definitely reaffirm everything that everybody has been saying, that they're really trying to work on reducing the difference in experience due to COVID, even though it will hurt and it will feel different. But I can assure, as a student who has gone through it and has had her whole semester, which was in Malta, the previous one, go online very early on. We had no classes. I think we went to classes for a month, and then everything went online, and we were still in Malta because we couldn't leave. Malta was under lockdown, as was India, so there was no way I could go anywhere. But thankfully, Malta recovered quickly, and you know, we were all assured that if something happens, you'd be given healthcare. But now, yeah, let me just talk about education. And I think I'll take on from where Abhay left, is that he mentioned how, you know, in India, we have a certain kind of learning. And since I'm studying education, for me particularly, it's very interesting to study in different contexts, because all of them, so far 2, but we also have an online university, so I can say 3, have all been very non-traditional. None of my learning experiences here have been traditional at all. UK was very, very self-directed. Malta was very different, like it was a lot of group work, it was a lot of collaboration, it was a lot of activity, it was a lot of also, you know, reading, doing theater and stuff like that. And I felt that due to this kind of non-traditional and interdisciplinary mix, I've had the freedom to choose the path that I want to choose. And I'm currently working on my dissertation on teacher education in India, which is the Bachelor of Education program that our teachers go through before they actually become teachers to teach students in school. And so this has allowed almost all of my classmates to choose something that they're particularly interested in, which may not be from the countries that they come from. But because of the whole format, which is self-directed, yet very well supported, I think we've had a lot of freedom with our research work. In fact, I think, as Sanjeev mentioned, like one of my professors is encouraging me to publish one of the papers I wrote for his course last semester. And so they're also supporting me with publishing. And like they're guiding me on which journal I can publish in and like who I need to write to. You know, they're helping me with the reviews and everything. So yeah, it's been very encouraging and supportive. And I think studying in, I think like, you know, UK is a different context, but Malta was again a post-colonial context. So it was kind of similar to India in that sense on some level, although the education was not entirely similar. And so I think it's giving me the opportunity to helping me become a lot more self-aware as to what I enjoy, how I learn. Since I'm also an educator, it helps me see, how other people learn. And so for me, there's an additional layer of being an aspirational educator. But overall, I think it's really, really making me a lot more self-aware, a lot more sensitive to different kinds of learning styles, different kinds of people, cultures, as many people have already said, so I won't repeat that. Outside of that, there are lots of opportunities like the internship that I'm currently doing that might be program dependent. Like our program had 3, 2 of which could not work out because one of them was actually based in India and nobody could go to India this summer because it's been on a lockdown. But yet I'm still doing my internship and it's been a great experience. Something just interesting, we have access to many online libraries, so you'll never struggle with, how we struggle back home in finding books or readings. And I've heard from many people from several parts in the country, in the world actually, not just India, who struggle in accessing readings. And that's something that I wasn't fully used to because I did not have trouble. Like I was always aware of how to look for it. But I think we all have been, when we arrive at a new university, every university takes it upon them to get us acquainted with the online catalog that they have. And I think 2 of the biggest ones that I have access to are the University of Glasgow and the Open University of Cyprus. But in addition to that, just going around the country, I'm an adult educator, so sorry if I'm talking continuously about education, but that's also what I want to talk about here, is that museums in a country are a good source of education. We've been to so many museums and in every country that we've been in, and that has been such a great source of absorbing culture and just learning and the history of the place, both in the UK and Malta so far, nothing Italian, but I'm going to go around for sure. And like Scotland, I was in Scotland, so I was in Glasgow in Scotland, and so Scotland has its own culture of a Cayley, like it's a dance that they do, and I've heard that Tallinn too has something like that. And so yeah, it's just, I find opportunities to blend in with the community and the culture through these pockets and through these societies and through these cultural events that the universities often organize. That's really been a very pleasant learning experience. So for me, it's almost like, history lessons have come alive somehow that we've always been learning. And I've also started considering a PhD after this, and I'd be happy to chat with any of you if you're interested in talking about any of these aspects further or anything else even. But yeah, I think that's all for me. I hope all of you have a good experience and that all of you are able to come to Europe soon. I know that my course is starting online. The first semester, no one is going to Glasgow, and the new batch will be starting the first semester online. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's what we have to do because the UK is still not doing very well with respect to Corona. So I hope you stay safe and do well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Astha. That was very insightful. I'm sure many of them who are looking into education to hear from you who's presently in Europe will be helpful. Now the next topic is accommodation in Europe. I know for the new scholars, this could be a topic because you don't know right now. There's a kind of what is going to happen. The course might start online, but ultimately you will be going, there'll be a normalcy which is going to happen. So we thought we'll ask a friend, Rupal Verma, who would talk to you about accommodation in Europe, because it's very important to know. I know the universities do help you wherever you are going to, but as a student, you are inquisitive to know how does this happen, what to do. And Rupal had same kind of questions last year. So today she comes to us as an expert. Over to you, Rupal.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Well, I have been pursuing my master's in environmental sciences, policy and management over here. And as a part of that, my first semester was at Budapest. And as Sanjeev rightly pointed out, I was really curious about where to stay, what to do, how will things work out. But the first and the foremost thing I would like to say is connect to your course coordinators, as we were told last year, and as now all the panelists have told. Every university, the host institution, has a dorm, or as you call it, a hostel or a residence center, where they can obviously host you. That's the first step. But in my case, which I'm assuming can also be a case of few others like you, when I was really, I had inhibitions and I didn't want to stay in a residence center that was far off from the university. So to cut down my travel time, I was looking at other options too. And also because I wanted to explore more, stay with my batchmates if I could. And luckily, last year at the same time, in this meeting, I met other batchmates in my course, which I'm assuming you can meet virtually now. And I connected with them. So initially we booked an Airbnb, and that was for 1 week. So what an Airbnb does to you or gives you an opportunity is to just go there and see if you like the dorm before just paying totally for it. And you can also explore other options. So you have a chance, if you book something like an Airbnb, it's a temporary accommodation. You just look around the place, you know your options more, and explore the housing areas, which is better for you, which is not better for you. So we did exactly that. I was staying there with 2 of my other batchmates in an Airbnb for around a week. And then the next step is for you, before going, start joining a lot more Facebook accommodation groups, more of these groups that are of your own batch. Luckily for us, as I'm assuming will be also for other programs, there will be already groups formed either on Facebook or on WhatsApp where you can connect with your batchmates. So you know who's coming when. You have, together you can explore options through Facebook and Airbnbs are the utmost, I would say the first option, where almost all of my batchmates for the first week had accommodation in Airbnbs. So this was it when we went to Budapest. It will be really different, will be really new. Some of you might have inhibitions of not staying with some kind of people. The first advice from my side would be to just shun all those inhibitions and be more open. So you'll get more options for you that way. After that, since it's a mobility program, you quickly want to also see within 1 or 2 months where next you want to stay. So with that, I was very lucky because our host institution was guiding us all throughout, and I'm sure that's going to be the case with all of you also. And the host institute will tell you how to go about and when to start looking, when to not start looking. So as I would say, probably a month before you go, you should start looking out for for wherever you're heading to, where you can stay. In my case, it was really unfortunate because we were supposed to go to Greece, but COVID happened and we were then stuck in Budapest again. Luckily, I would say it's very, it's just something that I learned that in the European culture is that people are very open. So you talk to people. The landlady where I was, whose house I was staying in, she was really considerate, and we could extend our contracts, and that way we were still staying in Budapest. But yeah, we also, most of our batchmates had internships again, like Asta was saying, and this time a lot of us got opportunities to do it online, which is also very interesting because we were glad that despite all the situation of COVID, none of our offers were withdrawn, and all of us could still go on with the internships as planned. Most of them had to do them virtually, but yes, in that case, you then again don't have to look for accommodation, you still have a place. In my case, I had to move to Bonn, and I'm still interning with the German Development Institute. But I was, again, I'm very happy, and I think it's very supportive of all institutions over here. They were very encouraging and helpful in helping me find an accommodation in Bonn. And the same way I would now be moving to Sweden. And there also, I started joining a lot of Facebook groups, and I think they are the best place where you can find quick accommodation reviews also from alumni who have already done that program and have stayed in certain places. And you can also start applying on different portals. So I can say most universities have an accommodation service. So you apply the service, you get feedback from them or acceptance or rejection from them in around a week. And mostly it's an acceptance. So you get a place over there, you talk to alumni if what kind of a place that is, you like it or you don't like it, and you just go ahead with it. So it sounds like a very daunting task, but it's going to be one of the easier things to do when you're here. So just from my side, the advice would be just be very open, be very active in looking out, and very aware of what your university has to offer. The best place, again, would be to connect with your batchmates, to connect with alumni, and to talk to as many people as you can. And also congratulations.
Thank you very much, Rupal. That's very insightful, because as you're speaking, many of them are asking questions about how to prepare for the travel, and we have already answered that. So our next person is Vidhi Sherawat, who will speak about transport and travel in Europe. She's doing a 3rd semester in Poland, and as we speak, So I picked up the right candidate. She is traveling. So Vidhi, can you join us?
Yes, thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Vidhi Sarawat. I am studying chemistry, so Erasmus Mundus Masters in Surface Electroradiation and Photochemistry. And my first semester was in Paris. My home university is there. And after that, I moved to Poland. And right now, I'm still in Poland because of COVID. And my next semester is also here, so I decided to explore this country. And so exactly what Sanjeev said, I'm currently traveling like right now. I'm in a cafe, which is a library cafe, as you can see the books here. So for traveling, I have 21 tips for everybody to take care, to consider and to keep in mind all the time. So first is save money. Actually, Erasmus gives us a lot of money and it becomes sometimes overwhelming, and we become a bit careless about saving it or spending it all the time, and we don't really care. So I don't think that's a good idea in the long run. I would say that always keep a separate budget for traveling. Just save it and just decide a destination and say that, okay, this is for my travel to Greece. This is for my travel to Hungary. I want to go to Sweden this day. So this is for my this travel. So like that, always save money. You never know when you need it. Second is always have a plan in advance. Never, it's okay. There are travels. Some plans are random and you just make them quickly. But I will suggest that it's better to plan in advance, because if you plan well before, you can always get discounts in many things, like accommodation, like flights, trains, and almost every single thing. And if, let's say, you see for example, a music festival at some place and you really want to go there, but it's in a month. So you plan already that, okay, I want to attend this festival. It will take me these many hours. I can spend the night here. I can go here and there. So when it's very planned and scheduled, you are at an ease that you can also keep some hours spare for other activities. Third, now I will stress on it more. Check entry requirements of countries. So because of COVID, many countries are really strict about who can enter here, who can enter cross the borders, who cannot. So, and also depends on the visa where you have. There are many restrictions right now. So it's better if you plan to a country. The travel is not really free right now, I would say. So just always check that if this country permits the people from a specific country or not. Always check it beforehand. Fourth tip is very important. Save offline maps of the location. Whichever city you plan to go, a day before, hours before leaving, just save the offline map, and also save the language translation from English to, let's say, French. If you are traveling in France, save the language. You never know where you don't get the internet and where it doesn't work. And if you have to communicate, and it will be a really big problem if the locals don't know. So it's better to save first of all the map, the area, select an area and download the map. And you can delete it later, of course. And save the translation too. On Google Translate, you have the option. So you can save it. Fifth is learn basic words of that language. Always, I cannot stress it enough. Whenever you go to a country, always, just basic words like how to go here, or maybe where is this, or maybe thank you, and excuse me, or sorry. Very basic words. If you don't have enough time, just keep them handy. Never underestimate the power of these words, because then people are welcoming. So for people who don't really know English, they think they also become a bit overwhelmed by hearing someone speak in English and they feel unable to help, and they just go up. It has happened to me. But also at a point when I was new in Paris, I knew some words and I was not sure if I'm going the right direction in the train. I thought I got lost. So there was an old man and I used few phrases. I just used few words, and I asked him that, okay, I want to go here. Will you help me out? Am I at the correct direction? And he was so happy that I'm trying, that he took me exactly to where I'm supposed to go, and he waited for me, and he stayed till the train arrived, and he saw me off, and he waved at me from the platform, and it was very, very, very sweet. So they really appreciate the gesture if you try. It's also a very polite way of respecting the culture. So I would suggest that learn words for sure. Sixth is keep an ID with you, but preferably not passport. Passport is a very delicate and important document. I would not suggest to take it everywhere. In case it gets lost, it will be a huge problem. So in the first month, I would say refrain from traveling outside the country where you are. But after that, after you get the ID, your student ID from the university official ID, then prefer to travel with the ID, not the passport or visa. About the visa and passport, but keep a scanned copy in your Google Drive. It helps. Sometimes if they want to see your passport, let's say, then you can always show the Google Drive scanned copy. You can say that, okay, this is the main thing they want is the number of the passport. If there is some official matter to deal with, you don't never take the passport everywhere. Don't. Okay. Seventh tip is that use different softwares for traveling, like websites like Flixbus, blah blah blah, Bus, Omeo, Skyscanner, Rail Europe, Rail Pass, Bolt, Lime, Blinky. So Flixbus and blah blah blahs are very, very cheap options for booking buses from one city to another. Very cheap. It's as cheap as €5, €10, €11, doesn't matter. And if you book early morning or late night buses, it's even cheaper. When it comes to Skyscanner, Skyscanner has a very unique option which I really like. Let's say you just want to explore a country, but you're not sure about the city. So in case, you can just put that, okay, I want to go from this city to this country, and it just shows that the cheapest way to go there. They'll just say, okay, if you want to visit Hungary, but you're not sure where, so let's say it says that, okay, you can go from this city in France, let's say, to this city, then this city, train, bus, car, flight, everywhere, different ways. And just, sorry.
Can I request to please respond, because we are running late and another session has to start. So if you could just summarize now in 1 minute, because we have one more speaker, and then.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So first, that there are many apps. I will explain them. I can explain them later. If you have a question, you can ask me. 8th is Pack Light. 9th is make friends in different countries, and you can just stay with them. If you ask them, maybe they'll let you stay. You can get free accommodation. Look for student discounts everywhere. You can ask, and they will just offer you, and you have to just show your student card in this. Don't use ATMs in other countries. There are some charges. Most of the time, use app like Revolut. It has free currency exchange rate in case there's a difference in the currency. Keep some cash, but also keep some cash for emergency reasons. Also, explore not so cliche places. Don't stick to places, let's say, like Eiffel Tower, Arc de Triomphe, but instead read the blogs of locals and see what places they recommend. 15th point is book hostels. You can get really cheap accommodation. You just have to stay for the night, and you can travel everywhere with your backpack. Very, very cheap. 16th is travel off season. Rates are very cheap, and there's not much crowd, and which is very important as COVID is here. 17th is don't be afraid to go for solo trips, of course, because it's very safe here. You don't have to worry about it. Also, look for free days. Like in Paris, the first Sunday of the month, all the museums are free. Entry is free, so you can just see many places. 19th is don't be a tourist. Exactly. check the blogs of the locals, check their reviews, check their comments. Don't be like a traveler from some other country. Explore the European way. And 2 more points, sorry. Be careful about the hygiene. Check if they have proper hygiene ways to keep their place hygienic. Let's say I'm sitting here in the table in which they had this sign called disinfect the one, which means that this is disinfected table. So things like that, you have to take care of it. And the last is walk. Don't try to take cabs and flights and trains. And if you're in the city, just walk. Just try to walk. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vidhi. Because we're running out of time, what I'll request all the new scholars is, you have my email ID. Because we won't be able to take your questions and answer right now, you can send me your question, and if I can connect you to our speakers, for example, for Rupal, Vidhi, whomsoever you want to ask, and I'm sure they'll be happy to answer. Now, Aditya, you're going to talk about the social life and culture in Europe. Aditya, I'll request you to be brief. I know you are working as well. Aditya is doing his 2nd semester at Netherlands. So Aditya, are you there? Aditya?
Hello.
Yeah, Aditya. Welcome, Aditya. If you could be very brief, because we're running out of time. I know you're also working. So if you could briefly tell our new scholars about the social life and culture in Europe.
Sure. So Namaste Dosto, I'm Aditya Vikram Jain from Jhansi and a DU alumni. And I'm doing Groundwatch program, and currently I'm doing an internship at WaterNet. So I'll be sharing my opinion on social and culture life. So be ready for a roller coaster, the most adventurous one for your entire life. Yes, Erasmus Master's course is going to be the best adventure you can long for, and it's still for me. So probably miss the warmness of being called weirdness by your Indian friends, but yeah, you will gain the different kind of experience and love and care, which I admire a lot here in Europe. While you are taking the ride of the roller coaster, whether it is high or low, don't forget to be yourself. Yeah, that's the most important thing you should take care of, and express yourself to the fullest. You will make amazing friends, spending nights talking to them, discussing and debating over to them about everything. Yeah. And obviously, if you can't find roti, you will find tortilla everywhere. So just enjoy it. And yes, one very important thing which I learned here was that the individual behavior with the society, which is very overwhelming for me, that you just say hello to random guys. You can talk about them. How is it going? How's life? And yes, the big smile on their faces makes your day amazing. Just, yeah, it makes you amazing. And just the last point, hold on your horses, because now it's time for the best and the challenging part of the Erasmus. Yeah, that's the mobility part. So you will be going through a lot of cultural shocks every 6 months, and you are already in a shock before 2 months that, okay, I'm going to a new country. So yeah, but that's also going to be the best part of the journey. So yeah, you are going to experience it. Also, culturally, Europe has its own charm, so which is not just limited to wine and cheese, but also to rich history, amazing dances, vibrant languages, and different food. So yeah, just make the most out of it. In a nutshell, the journey of Erasmus will teach you one of the most important Indian cultural value, that is, hame moh maya se upar utna hai. We have to get over moh and maya. So I wish you all the very best for this amazing journey of 2 years. Enjoy and explore to the fullest, guys. You'll really, really like it. And feel free to contact me. I'm on Facebook. And yeah, Sanjeev is here to connect us. So all the best, guys.
Thank you very much, Aditya. Thank you very much. Tanya, could we take one question each?
Yes, but let's just say one more thing on what he said. He has the spirit. That's the spirit, you know. If you don't find roti, take tortilla. That, I think, says a lot, and I'm very happy to hear that. And vice versa, I take roti here and samosa. So, great session, Sanjeev. Yes, I've seen many questions. And how shall we go about that? Because we have also...
Maybe one each for each of the speaker, and then we move on to the next session.
Yeah, let's... Okay,
so we give 5 minutes time, and...
Yeah. because we have our host countries waiting, and we also need to give time to the new students to ask questions and the host to meet and greet. So what was the first question?
Yeah, Tarun, are you there? The question is,
Yes.
will there be job opportunities in Europe after the master or campus placement for Erasmus Scholar?
You mean to say in terms of research or an industrial job?
I think
in general. Okay, I could read one of the question here, which was very much like how I would say as an Erasmus student, when you actually travel in different countries and you be in different campus and you already have an edge. And as Adrian always mentioned, he mentioned that you are creme de la creme, that you have already gone through a kind of process of selection. So you have crossed that thing. So you are always one of the good scholars, which industries and academia, everyone appreciate that. So that give you an extra edge.
Thank you, Tarun. There's a question, Rupal, if you could take this. Rupal?
Yes, sure.
How would you recommend we prepare ourselves for the experience before the trip and during the first few days of the program?
Definitely. Before going there, I would say pack light. Pack as light as you can, take as few things as you can. You will have all the pots, all the crockery, all the cups, everything that you need wherever you're going. Even if you're going to stay in an Airbnb or in a dorm, wherever you go, you will have everything. Don't stick to your favorite cups, step one. Then before going, it would be really nice if you can check the maps, as Vidhi, I think, said. You can check the popular apps for travel. Every city will have an app for metro, for tram, for buses. Check that. And then talk to a few people, talk to alumni, talk to current batchmates, or talk to current students who are studying. They can tell you how to reach wherever you're going from the airport or from the bus station, or if you need to take a connecting train or something like that. So once you reach there, that will be that. And the first few days, just explore around, see around where's the nearest grocery store, check the medical store which is around, check around a few eating places, take your time, let things sink in, and just relax. Don't be in a hurry to just, see more and travel and everything. Just explore wherever you're staying around. Try to interact with people you're staying with. Hopefully you'll get to stay with a few of your batchmates. If not, but the better, maybe you stay with some locals. That's the best. Try to find out about the local areas, local travel, and just let things sink in. Don't be in a hurry to don't panic also if you cannot, really call home at the very instance you reach. Although there will be Wi-Fi in most places, 90% of the places will get free Wi-Fi. But if you can't, don't panic, just be calm, try to just go with the flow. And it'll be smooth, don't worry.
Thank you, Rupal, thank you very much. Astha, there's a question for you. Astha,
Yes.
Is it possible to begin research work for the master thesis starting from the first semester? Also, is it possible to take part in research in each host institution, even if it is for 4 or 5 months?
I'm not sure if I understand the question fully, and they can correct me if I'm wrong, but the thesis work, actually parts of your research thesis begin from the first semester, yes. For us, it began in the second semester where we took a research methods course. But I think your host university will start asking you about your interest in topics and then try to link you up with supervisors accordingly, because certain professors have certain expertise. And so the conversation around the thesis will begin from the first semester. Although I'm not sure if you can start, if you're saying you want to collect data, I'm not sure if you can start doing that, because there is an ethics committee. So your ethics committee has to approve your research before you can begin collecting data and everything, or which is to technically say begin research work. So I'm in my third semester and my ethics committee will happen in the next month. So I still don't have that. And about your research in each host institution, we had it depends on your program really. Our program makes us choose one institution to go back to. And so I've chosen Malta to go back to because both my supervisors are from the University of Malta. But I think that could be different based on what program you're doing and what research you're doing. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Ada. Vidhi, there's a question for you.
Yes.
A student is asking about medical insurance for travel in Europe and for visa application. Need of medical insurance.
Oh, okay. Well, about the visa from India to Europe? Or?
We can, sorry to interrupt, but maybe we take visa questions in the next session.
Yeah. It's just about the medical insurance. He just wanted to know, is it required? Okay, maybe the last question I'll take for Aditya. Are you around?
Yeah, I'm here.
Aditya, since you're working, they want to know about how easy or difficult it is to find a job as an intern while you're studying.
Well, it depends on your course. For example, I'm working on groundwater and my university, which is IHE UNESCO, has some contacts also. And so it was somehow easy and approachable for me to get an internship over here. But it mainly depends on your contacts, which you have made during your master's course and also on your subject. So yeah, I will say that it's easy to get an internship. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Aditya, and thank you very much, Erasmus scholars. Over to you, Tanya.
Thank you very much. I think it was very rich. I like the spirit of each individually reassurances that they gave. So we can move to the next session. But as head of a section for research and innovation, I wanted to just take advantage of this transition moment to say, in terms of opportunities, and Tarun also mentioned that, I think it was Tarun Kumar, who said that, you know, there is possibilities to build up your career further in Europe and with European support schemes. And therefore, Erasmus Mundus will make you acquainted with the European way of studying, thinking, and doing. And that is a step that you could use then to look up at the opportunities that we have under our research and innovation program, which is called Horizon 2020. With the next program will be Horizon Europe. And within that program, there is an important building block for mobility schemes, the Marie Sklodowska-Curie actions, which one of you found further possibilities to support the research. So, but it all comes, you know, very organic. You will be at the university, they will know it, there are opportunities of internships, of short-term, so a lot of things once you are there will come to you organic, but definitely look at Horizon Europe for research and for mobility support actions. These are a logical career development support action that you could benefit from as far as we are concerned. But now over to the next session. Is that right, Sanjeev?
Yes, Tanya. Next section.
All right, all right. It's the session meeting and greeting, because you would not have been able to get this scholarship without the support of the member states and the partner countries of the Erasmus Plus program. This is a program that is implemented, and it's the member states that put money to get together in a pot, then we reallocate it. And also the fact that you have this mobility, and there was a question on mobility, that's the specificity of the Erasmus Mundus, is that we believe that you have to go from one member state to another to get the gist of the European way of living and the culture. But that doesn't mean that, for example, because there was such a question, that if you get a scholarship at member state level, that is equally good. That is your choice. We believe that at European level, it should give a chance to be in different member states. And we are very pleased that we have so many member states here that you have selected 26 countries. If you look at the 134 Indian students in this time span of 2 to 3 years, they, not you all individually, but all will have covered 26 countries, of which 23 member states, and then of course UK, Turkey and Norway, because we have partner countries. And so they are hosting you, so you have a lot of questions which might more relate to their countries, to their culture, to their way of organizing education, to the conditions of entry. And also they are happy to share and welcome you as a student in their country. And the first that is on my list, I hope everybody by now is connected. Matthias Radowskis, are you with us? Yes, you are. So meet and greet. Bitte.
Okay, I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Thank you very much. My name is Matthias Radowskis. I'm here, the Deputy Ambassador of Austria to India, and I want to welcome everyone and congratulate everyone on this decision to participate in the program, and of course, particularly welcome and particularly congratulate those who have chosen to go to Austria, obviously. You have made the right choice. Why have you made the right choice? It's a couple of reasons. First of all, Austria is a small country, but a country that survives mostly on exports and very high-end products. Niche products, because we are so small, we cannot rely on mass production, and therefore, this is also reflected in our research and development budget. So research and development is extremely important to our country. We spend 3.19% of our GDP on research and development, which is the second highest rate in Europe, right after Sweden. So we will come to a very research and development friendly country. It's also more than the US. The US is spending 2.78% of the GDP on research and development. So you will find very good parameters if you come to Austria. The second reason why I would like to congratulate you is that you are courageous. Why are you courageous? Because you chose a non-English speaking country. Please, I would appeal to you, make use of your stay in Austria, as long or as short as it might be, and learn the language. You will get by with English in Austria easily. There's not a problem. But still, it's going abroad is always an opportunity, obviously, to learn a language. And German is the biggest language in the European Union. So it can only serve you. So take this opportunity and please make use of it. Number three, I know from my student days, which are quite some time ago, students like to travel. You have also chosen the right country for that, because it lies in the heart of Europe. So within 3 hours, you're in Lisbon. Within 2.5 hours, you're in Moscow. Within 2 hours, you're in Sweden. And within 2 hours, you are in North Africa. So everything is at a close distance. And if you consider this is actually less time than you need to fly from Delhi, say, to Chennai or to Trivandrum. So make use of it and explore as much as you can. And then, of course, one feature of your studies abroad is not only to study, but also to explore other features of the countries. If you stay in Vienna, go to one of the balls, which is like this dancing feasts, where you have the classical dance and the waltz, which actually exists, I think, quite exclusively in Vienna. Or try our national sport, skiing, which is basically everywhere around the corner in Austria. I'm sure you have a lot of questions for visas. Now everything is on our website, but we will issue visas, of course. We are very restrictive with visas, but international students are one of the categories that for the time we issue. So there's no problem with that. You have to apply via the VFS. The embassy is not open, but you can apply in the VFS offices in Delhi, in Mumbai, in Hyderabad, and in Chennai. All the other VFS offices are not open yet, so it doesn't depend on us, but it depends on them. And any kind of information you're seeking is, of course, on our website, but that shouldn't be much of a problem and should go rather fast. But one thing I would appeal to you, before you go to VFS, please write us an email, and we will instruct VFS accordingly that they actually accept your application. Otherwise, they won't let you in. So please drop us an email before you apply for the visa. So I think we were given 2 minutes. So that would be it from my part. Thank you very much, Tanya.
Well, thank you very much, Matthias, because you gave already the flavor of what Europe is. Every country putting up front its highlights, its qualities, but you also offered great help to the students in terms of getting into the country. And yes, indeed, there's so many good reasons to go to Austria. Is there any student going to Austria that would have a direct question now to Matthias? Or if not, then we can move to Czechia, Republic of, that has changed its name to Czechia, but, and I see Milan and Roman, so who will meet? Maybe one will meet, the other will greet. So please, Czechia, take the floor.
If I can start, thank you very much for being part of this perfect event. I was attending last 5 years all these events, and I am very proud that it continues despite the coronavirus pandemic. I am very much happy that in our country the pandemic is over and that all the numbers are going down. So I would like to encourage all students who are interested to come, please come and study in the Czech Republic. The only reason is that it is a very pleasant country with high quality of education. We have more than 20 places in the Czech Republic where are 61 higher education institutions. And there are more than 1,000 programs taught in English at the different universities. So the largest university is in Prague. It's Charles University with 50,000 students and 17 faculties. But everybody who is interested can come to us, to the embassy, and we will respond to all necessary questions. As I understand, we have somebody who is going to the Czech Republic this year. So I would like to be in touch with that particular student. And if there is any question, I'm ready to answer it. And now I will ask my colleague Milan to add what is needed to be added. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so hello everybody. My name is Milan Dostal and I'm the commercial counselor from the Embassy of the Czech Republic in New Delhi, responsible also for areas like research, innovation and education. And I represent here one of the most picturesque countries in Europe, the Czech Republic, or Czechia, as Tanya nicely said. The Czech Republic is a medium-sized country in the heart of Europe, and even though we don't have the direct access to the sea or the privilege of the high mountains like Matthias in Austria, I would like to say that your choice to study in the Czech Republic will be rewarded in many ways. Most of all, I would like to dismiss the uncertainties, exaggerated risks, and excessive fears connected with coronavirus from your mind, and would like to assure you that we Czechs do our best to maintain our style of lives and don't let anything impact on our lives too much. I would like also to stress that the Czech Republic belongs to less affected places. All which is need to remember before the departure is to read thoroughly a very informative website for foreign students, which is on studyin.cz. Yes, can you see that? Where you can see all the information you might need to know, including what it is to live, work, and study in the Czech Republic, living costs, accommodation, transport, medical care, and insurance, and of course about also the famous Czech beer. Regarding the practicalities like visas, the best is, as mentioned my colleague Roman, to get in touch. I'm sure that our colleagues from the delegation of European Union will happily pass our contact emails and numbers. and also with the Department of Student Affairs of the concerned university, which I believe is in your particular case, the Charles University, as the situation might be prone to quick changes and certain arrangements or online classes might be required, at least at the beginning. So to conclude, I would like to wish not only you, but to all the participants a pleasant stay and great start in your future career, maybe in the European Union. Congratulations.
Well, thank you for this very warm welcome. And that is, as a first destination, one Indian has opted and selected for Czechia, but we need now to ensure that that one student multiplies to more next year, so that he becomes also, but we have to move on, and from Czechia, we will go up north. Is Mika with us from Finland? Mika said that he would join, and if so, I had wanted to ask him if it is not too cold for Indians to study in Finland, but the choice is made. But Mika is not there yet, so sorry for those that have gone or would have questions on Finland. We move on because students that are going to France certainly must be with us, because they are among, let's say it's been the preferred, the top destination, both as a first country and as a second choice. Majority go to France. So who will share? I see Rashid is ready.
Yes.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Très bien.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour. Merci beaucoup. Et voilà.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tanya. This is really an excellent platform, as everybody mentioned, and we really look forward to this every year. This is an interesting year, of course, in many ways, and we're all trying to adapt and make the best of the opportunities. But we're very, very grateful to the mobility that we have for France and the interest that France generates with Indian students. And for all the right reasons. I mean, it is a very strategically located country. There are lots of possibilities for students when they do study in France. So they can always work, they can always travel around, and there are benefits when it comes to staying back in the country, the post-study visa. And there are also benefits attached at the same time to, if they want to retain their relationship with France, they can always apply for an alumni visa. This year has been very interesting for us because we've been touched by the pandemic in many ways, but France is really ready to welcome students. They're extremely excited to welcome students on board for the fall semester. So a lot of schools are very much prepared and looking forward to the session that is going to come. I'm sure lots of students have a very general question that when are visa services expected to come back, and when is the Campus France office operational during this time. So to inform you, the Campus France services and the interviews that you do at Campus France, which is the education service at the Embassy of France, has been operational on a distance mode. So you can always do these interviews with us online, which is available for the moment as well, and has been in place since March, ever since we had been on a work from home basis. And for visa services, you know, it is being discussed, and we're really working on coming up with a precise date, but we're really hopeful it would be very soon, towards the later half of August. That is when we're expecting. But you can definitely expect a press release very soon, which will have an exact date for students from India as well. And you will be able to continue with the rest of your application and apply for your visa. So very hopeful about this, and just hoping everything falls in place and we are able to have as many students from India who would like to go to France and join their program from September onwards or late August, whenever they're due to start. I have my colleague, Ms. Rajni Bachwani, as well with me, who is our scholarships coordinator. Maybe Rajni can quickly mention a bit about the French government scholarships as well, and a bit about the Erasmus benefits as well that students receive if they have.
Rajni, welcome.
Am I audible now?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So first of all, congratulations to all the students who got this scholarship, Erasmus Mundus scholarship this year. 134 is a pretty good number, and to know that they made it amongst 30,000 students, it's a really a good achievement. As we all know that Erasmus scholarships are one of the best programs that are offered to Indian students. They cover mostly the tuition fee expenses, your living costs, transportation, it mostly covers almost everything. So it is really a wonderful scholarship program. If you have any questions regarding your stay, you can always reach out to us. We'd like to ensure that we are doing our best to ensure that students who go to France arrive there in the best possible conditions. So yeah, if you have any questions, reach out to our campus France manager, reach out to Rachit, who sits in the Delhi office, or the French Institute in India, if you have any queries related to your stay. That's it. Thank you.
Fantastic. You have 35 students that go to France.
Oh, that's wonderful.
In the first year. And then spread over the 2-3 years, there are about 90 more. If any are going or waiting, dying to go to France as soon as possible, take your chance with Rashid right? But also, because we need to give as many countries and students a chance, they also offer to have bilateral contacts, and we also see the commitment of all of us to open our doors for you. So anybody has a question now? If not, then it is symbolic. After France, I have Germany on my list. Aditi, are you with us? Yes. Hello, Aditi. Yeah.
Hello, it just took a moment longer to start. Thank you very much, Tanya. And it's wonderful to see you in this distant high-tech manner, but yeah, that's the normal for all of us now. And so first of all, congratulations to all of you, and a welcome to all of you who are moving in direction Germany, either immediately or as one of the multiple semesters that you will be covering. In terms of information, I don't think I have anything besides what the colleagues before me have spoken, and what the colleagues after me will also speak. So I will not really take much time. Just to say that when in Germany, do remember that teaching and research, they are going to go hand in hand. So even if you're attending one regular semester, you will be necessarily involved in some form of research or the other. You will have a different kind of freedom. I will not underline the freedom so much, because in all likelihood, most of the European countries will offer you the same kind of freedom. A little variation here and there would of course be possible, but yes, you have it there, and there will be a lot for you to look forward to. You've received this wonderful opportunity to grow both academically as well as personally, and I'm sure that you will use it very, very well. As from Germany per se, or from the DAAD, I would just like to invite your attention to two simple offers that the DAAD has for those who have some experience of studying in Germany. One of the first bits is the DAAD Young Ambassador Program. I think right from the ambassador, everybody has been saying that you are the ones who will act as ambassadors for the entire European Union. And the DAAD for Germany has just formalized this program. So anyone who has studied in some German university or carried out research at a research institution can apply to become a DAAD Young Ambassadors. The applications are out every summer. The idea is what many of the alumni did, sharing experiences, guiding people, talking to them about what studying there means, what working there means, and so on and so forth. So, and a number of Erasmus Mundus scholarship holders have been amongst the DAAD Young Ambassadors in past. So we would be very happy to have some more of you from this year as well. And then the second bit is, yes, I mean, you're going to Europe. The idea is forgetting the boundaries and expanding the horizons. But then there are those moments when one misses the celebrations, the festivals, the festivities in the home country and wants to come a bit closer. And from that perspective, you might be happy to know that there are a number of Indian student associations in various German towns that are splendidly and wonderfully supported by the Indian embassy and also various consulates, not just for celebrating festivals, but it starts right from various pickup services and find and accommodation services and various such things that they do not for the financial purpose, but because they just want to make your arrival and stay comfortable. Anyway, so feel free to get in touch with them. There is also going to be a pre-departure session for Germany coming up this month. Feel free to join for that. Welcome there. You'll meet some of the associations in the pre-departure session also. With that, and once again, with a lot of good wishes to all of you, and a lot of thanks to Tanya and team for putting this wonderful program together and enabling so many people seek their dreams or reach their dreams so successfully. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adita. I return for what you said, that we are not only in one world, but Germany and Europe, once that the students will see, we also one family. I mean, being in Germany means you're in Europe, being in Europe means you're Germany, and that also you expressed well. And of course, I welcome very much the focus on the education and the research, which goes hand in hand, and that is an opportunity that also the students should grab while they are there. We have 10 German students that go in the first year, but over the 2 more years, we will have 46. So also congratulations to Germany that you attract so many students, and that through Germany they will see what Europe is. And then I have on my list Hilda Fakas. I hope, Hilda, you were able now to connect. I know that you had some difficulties, and I hope that you are with us, because that's definitely a wonderful country, Hungary. Hilda, are you with us? No, she had difficulties. So anyway, we will have to pass on her email address in case students going to Hungary have specific questions. But certainly on behalf of Hilda Fakas, my colleague here in the Embassy of Hungary, a very warm welcome to beautiful Hungary. Italy is still with us, so that's good. And there's also many students going to Italy. I have 9 in the beginning, and then later on in the 2 years that follow, so we have 50. So, Pietro?
Yes, Tanya, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, so please.
Great, thank you very much for this opportunity. Hello, everyone. I started corresponding with some of the students privately on the chat, so to give as many answers as I can, but let me start by congratulating all the students who are going to Italy, congratulating all the students who are going to the European Union. I think it's a great time to go to the EU in general, not just in our single countries, because I would say that the EU is very much alive and kicking despite Brexit. And that was shown during the last council where the recovery fund was approved. But let me just quickly talk about Italy. I'm very proud that some of you chose my country. I'm pretty much sure that many of you will go to our centers of excellence like Politecnico in Milan or Turin or University La Sapienza, just to name a few of them. And I am aware that some of you are seeking information on specific aspects regarding pre-enrollment or enrollment, especially about DOVs, about visas. I answered all the questions that were addressed so far to the Embassy of Italy on the chat, either publicly or privately. I will continue to do so. I would just like to say that starting from next Monday, we will publish on the Embassy's internet site detailed instructions on how to deal with all the procedures that are required by Italian universities. And what whatever doubts you do have after we publish this news, we are always available by email. Just one quick mention about Mumbai, because somebody was asking about the Consulate General in Mumbai. 75% of the students going to Italy are coming from the south, so they usually process paperwork through the Consulate General in Mumbai. As you know, these days Mumbai is under heavy rains, so the Consulate General was not fully operational. But they, as far as I know, they've already published an advice on their internet site that students can follow. And very shortly, VFS offices will be operational both for Northern India and for Southern India. So I'm just suggesting all students interested to keep an eye on our internet sites, and by Monday next week, detailed instructions will be published on the sites. In the meantime, I will continue answering on the chat, and I really hope that all the people who chose Italy will have a great experience. And of course, if there are live questions, I'm here available. Thank you very much, Tanya, and thank you very much to the European Union delegation for this opportunity.
Well, thank you very much, Pietro, for the very nice cooperation, the nice words. To the students, I would like to say that they have got already a little pre-taste of what Italy is, with a nice accent, and what more that awaits them. But as you said, if there are any going to Italy, and many are, they can also 9 in the beginning and throughout 50 more. Any specific questions? But thank you so much that you have already, and I know, proactively interacted, and that is very, very much appreciated, especially in these COVID times. Before I forgot, I have also Wendy Souza from Ireland. Are you still with us, Wendy? Because there are a couple of students that go to Ireland, and rightly so, but I see that Wendy is no longer with us, or she had difficulties, so I don't know if she was finally able to connect. There is Eugenie Megala with us from Malta, because she wasn't certain if she could stay, but also she asked me to greet you and welcome the student that will go to Malta, but that is not immediate. That is next, the next batch of students.
Tanya, this is Wendy here. I am there.
Oh, that's good. So I haven't. That's good. That's good. Where are you, Wendy? Oh, great, great, great. Okay. So
I did have a problem with my video and my audio. So yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, but happy that you could join. And yes.
Yes.
So what about Ireland? You've heard that each country is.
Yeah. So thank you, for this. It's been great. I've been listening to all of it, and it's been fantastic. Welcome, students. You are going to be going on to a great journey. Whether it's going to be Ireland or Hungary or Italy, I think it's going to be a fantastic journey for you all. A little bit about Ireland. Yes, it is a small country which is, part of Europe, part of the European Union itself. Very interesting is, even though it's a small country which has got only 4.7 million population, okay, they have over 1,000 MNCs there, so that are based there, who have the European headquarters there. So then, if people are thinking about jobs and all, after internships, it would be fairly easy because those companies would be able to give them jobs. Sectors like pharma, bio, ICT, finance and business is something that is really prominent. It is fairly easy to move around in Ireland. Okay, like one of the students, what was her name, Vidhi, who said, yes, you need to walk. Okay, so walking is one of the best things. But yes, you can also use things that like the DART and the Lewis, which are the local trams and the trains, and your student card would kind of give you a discount on those. Taxis are fairly expensive and you do not get discounts, so please don't look at using taxis. It is a very beautiful country and very, very calm, okay, very peaceful. I say please explore. There are really wonderful places like the Cliffs of Moher. You have Dingle, which is, towards the end of Ireland. You have castles that are there. Even the campuses are castles itself. So please explore. And with your student card, you would get discounts into most of these places. If you're looking at visas, okay, so I think we are one of the unique countries where our visa office has opened and VFS is processing visas already. So you can apply for your visas. It is taking 6 weeks for the visas to basically come through, but that is the longest frame. We've seen visas now even come in 4 to 5 days. Okay, we've had VFS open since the 15th of July. And almost already we have 200 to 300 visas that have been approved. Okay, so please go and apply for your visas. We are functional already. That's just about what I wanted to say. I mean, Ireland is open. It is kind of back on its feet. Public places are open, whether you say cafes, churches, everything is open. They're allowing mass gatherings. So everything is back to normal. Ireland is functional. So, all the best. Hope to see you in Ireland someday, and you can keep in touch. Okay, my email ID and all is there with Tanya and the group. So, you can get in touch with me.
Thank you so much, Wendy, for this warm welcome. And you've been rather modest about your country. I've been several times traveling to Ireland, and it has so much more to offer besides the studying. I have know the Netherlands. Subruto, are you with us? Subruto, a bit difficult to go through the whole name. Chakraborty, no, he's not with us. Maybe he hooks on, we check. I don't know, is Mika from Finland in the meantime with us? And then if that is not the case, then we go to the last country, which is Sweden. I've seen both Fanny and Lena, and I'm sure that both have to say a lot about studying in Sweden. Fanny, welcome, how are you?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me and see me?
Yes.
So,
yes, perfect. Thank you.
So good afternoon to everyone. My name is Fanny von Heerland. I'm working as Innovation and Science Counselor at Embassy of Sweden in New Delhi. And I would like to wish all Indian students congratulations and good luck, especially our 2 students traveling to Sweden. And I was very delighted to hear that you have chosen Sweden as your study destination, which I of course think is a very good choice. And Sweden is a fantastic and exciting country to be an international student in. And you will have so much to explore outside your studies. So you should really take that opportunity. And as you will see in your inbox, I have already connected with you, and I would be very happy to meet you digitally and answer any questions that you might have concerning studying in Sweden or living in Sweden for that case. So I look forward to speaking with you, and once again, good luck.
Thank you very much, Fanny. Yes, there's only one in the first batch, but there will be an invasion in the second batch. There will be 26 Indian students coming to Sweden, so a little bit more patient, and the Indian students will arrive. They have chosen Sweden more as a second year destination, but that doesn't. Thank you very much to be with us and to offer all your help and encouragement. Would Lena want to add something, or that's it? And then, of course, I also had Spain, and from Spain I have Alba, I have Human. So, but I'm sure that Alba is, yeah, Alba is with us. So
yes.
Hello, Alba. How are you? Yeah.
Thanks for the introduction. Yes, I just want to say a quick word. First, congratulations to all the Indian students and of course to the 7 students that will be coming to Spain. We are planning on sending some information your way about the visa application proceedings and how to, you know, all the details about studying and living in Spain. So you're free to contact us whenever you want, but we will be giving that information to you in advance. And as the other councillors or representatives have said, I want to welcome you to our country. I think you're going to have a great opportunity, a great experience there. You know, our people pride themselves on being very welcoming. So I think you will have all the help you might need and you will have a great time. So we'll be in touch soon. Thanks.
Thank you, Alba. Again, the same phenomena, not that many in the first year, 7, but throughout the second and third year, 76. So Spain is a very popular destination, of course, rightly so. And it's the country where somebody said, take advantage of the tortilla rather than of the roti, right? So remember that for Spain as well. Would you want Hemant to say something from the Office of Catalonia in Mumbai? Because there's also some students specifically going to that region of Spain. I see that Hemant is with us. Would that be okay? Yeah.
Sure, yeah, sure. Can you hear me clearly? Am I audible?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, I'm not from Catalonia, I'm from Basque Country. So that is one. But anyway, congratulations to all the scholars and welcoming you all to the European Union and more particularly to Basque Country. So we have a small office in Mumbai from where the Basque government conducts its affairs with India. And if you, just to give you a small brief about Basque Country, it is in the north part of Spain. And it's a very beautiful place, as you will, I think there are 2 of you who are visiting. You will find it a very beautiful place. So I'm sure you will enjoy your stay over there. Just to give you a small thing, that when you are there, don't forget to try the pinchos, do visit the Guggenheim Museum, and do remember to carry your umbrella wherever you go, because most of the time it's raining over there, just like it is raining in Mumbai at this time. So if you have any questions, I'm of course available, and I wish all of you a very pleasant stay in Europe.
Thank you very much, Hemant. I confused with your colleague from the Catalonia representation, so sorry about that. But I think we are perfectly on time. I think everybody met and had a chance to read. If anybody hasn't, because I can't see everybody and the list may have moved throughout the afternoon, please raise your hand and feel free to speak. Also from the students that are still with us, if they have a specific question, generically or specifically, then we can still do that. We have a couple of minutes. And I see, if I'm not wrong, that Mika in the meantime connected. Is that right?
Tanya, we have Harpreet from Portugal.
Yes.
I can see he's online. Harpreet from Portugal.
Ah, okay. So we go to Portugal. That's quite logic when we've been to Spain that we go to Portugal. So yes, Harpreet, I presume. Yes, hello Harpreet.
Hello, good evening. Hello everyone.
Yeah, all well, and thank you for joining. So yes, so many students go
I think
to
around 8. Yes, yes. Yeah.
8 the first time, I mean the first year, but then more second and third year. So
Correct, yes.
yeah, but of course with the good universities research you have, that's a good logical decision. But please.
Yes. Yeah, good evening, colleagues and everyone. I mean, thank you, Anya, Sanjeev, and Anil for doing this. Pretty not able to meet in person in this, in this period. I would just like to first, congratulate and welcome students, all of them, for obtaining these scholarships. And if you have, if you feel when you're going to Portugal, I think more or less all universities have a basic Portuguese language courses when you arrive. But if you feel the need to do it, beforehand, before going, there are online courses also available, which we can share with you once you, write to us about your queries. And now the other query about the visa is what we have come to know, and we are also in touch with some universities that you would probably need a letter saying that this course cannot be done online, which will, which will help you in getting through the airport. So please, we have written to already some universities and also to the students. 2 of them have replied. So others, who have seen our email or have not gone, please do get in touch with us. So we can also write to universities again, and you please also do. This is it for the timing. You will love the country. I have been personally visiting a lot. So all the best wishes. Take care and stay safe, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harpreet, for this welcoming words. There's only 7 in the beginning, but 35 later on. So many may come to you also later. I think we've got a good gist of the variety of the different countries where you will go, but overall you can already see and smell the cultural diversity, but everybody is very much looking forward to host you, and especially everybody is very much looking forward, available to help you to make your journey happening. We are really perfectly on time, so I'm very happy about that as well. Not easy that we had to do a virtual event, but I think so far so good. And now I'm very pleased and honored to give the floor to Raimund Magis, who is our Deputy Head of Delegation and also this period or Chargé d'Affaires. He's my boss, so I have to be careful. I have and anyway, as far as I'm concerned, bye-bye, arrivederci, thank you, au revoir, best of luck. I wish I was a student and I had an Erasmus scholarship and I could have a reincarnation and start studying with an Erasmus scholarship in Europe. That is as far as I'm concerned, and happy to give the floor to Dr. Marcus for the closing remarks. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Tanya, and also a few words from my side to the students. Thank you for attending these lessons, to all the colleagues also from the embassies of the European member states. It's really a pleasure for me to be addressing this forum. I'm a bit sorry that we have to do it only via video or not with a glass of wine, as it is usually customary of doing it, to express also the warmth and the pleasure that Europe has to welcome students from India. I really would just like to make a few points. Very personally, when I was a student, I also had the great opportunity to be an Erasmus student, and it really is a lifetime experience. It has a huge impact on the way you see, perceive the world, the way you get to know other cultures. It is something that you will never forget. It's a huge opportunity, and I think it is quite exciting, the new chapter that you're going to open there in the book of life, so to say. Naturally, COVID-19 has had tremendous impacts on all aspects of life. It will also have an impact on you as you embark on this journey to Europe. There's no doubt about that, and we are very conscious about health and safety, that this should come first. But it's also very much to underline that we are there to work with you to find appropriate solutions and to have the appropriate flexibility so that you can actually participate in these or use these great opportunities of this scholarship program, and that we find a solution that you can start with these courses. You've seen so many welcoming, happy faces of my colleagues, and I think this is probably the best way that we can express how much we care about the program, how much we care about you as students, and that we really want to make this the memorable experience that we want you to have with it. You are, in a way, this has already mentioned, ambassadors of the special Erasmus program. Like the way when you go to Europe, you will come back with special experiences, and of course you will be then also in the position to explain a little bit better what Europe is all about, what opportunities there are. In a way, you are the first step in fulfilling the promises that were made at the EU-India summit of enhancing people-to-people contacts. So you are very much a very important element of making good on that promise. So I'm really would just like leave you with the best wishes for the months to come, and to make the best of this tremendous opportunity. And I wish you simply all the best and a very warm welcome. Thank you to everyone who participated and joined in this meeting, and all the best to you. Thank you, Tanya.
Well, I said I didn't have to say anything any longer because you should never do that. But we will try to have a group picture because it's quite unique, as you said. It's sad. We had preferred to have a good glass of wine and be together tonight. But at the same time, we should value all these efforts on research and innovation that has made all these digital tools available for us, and that we can meet. And I believe, honestly, we had a very good session, productive and pleasant. And yes, and that's great. I see people now putting on their video so that we can have the picture. Let's hope that this is memorable for many reasons, that we have a virtual session.
Can we request all to switch on their camera, please?
Yeah, Harpreet is back. That's good. Okay.
Yeah, Dipakshi, is it fine? Have you switched it on for everyone?
But we should say all Erasmus?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. To Erasmus.
Erasmus.
Great.
Erasmus. That's a good idea.
And as we said in the beginning, but we didn't do it. Let's do it at the end. We give ourselves a big applause because it's a fantastic program. We are proud about that program, but you should be proud as well. Thank you very much. Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye. So we have, maybe if we switch it because we could have more pictures. No. Yes, we have more.
Yeah, there are four screens actually.
Okay. Yeah, because we're so many. Well done, Sanjeev and Anil. Thank you so much for having all these people hooked on, still with us, so it works. Thank you very much. I see that Hilda is there. Would you like to say something, Hilda? Right. Okay. So we're on. Right. Okay. So bye bye, arrivederci, and really again, Even if you have to start digital, do Groupon, take advantage of the education, actually slowly but certainly you move on to Europe, and but you have to come back, huh? As Dr. Abhijiri said, but you will, because you have such a great country as well, so you always want to come back to India, that I'm sure. Okay, all the best, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye-bye.